I watched this Gordon Ramsay show about him traveling through Europe and stuff, and they were making, they were doing what's the mozzarella cheese?
Okay.
Like in the water or whatever, and then they take these big balls of mozzarella out, and then they eat them like this. It's like the size of an apple, and they eat this mozzarella. That's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, it'd be hard to poop on
Isn't
that trip.
it called a pearl? I think they call those giant things
hard.
of cheese a pearl of cheese.
That's a big ass pearl. I don't know. It would be hard to poop though if you eat that much cheese.
Apple-sized cheese balls everywhere you went.
Yes,
it would be a problem.
I don't know. Maybe if you're used to it, I don't know.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
Special guest this week,
Ooh, ooh.
Ashlee.
I'm Ashlee, one of the brand specialists. You guys, it's an honor to be on this podcast with you.
Co-host of our other podcast, Healthcare Horrors.
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
and I even
murder.
broke out special socks.
Oh, you got beer socks, beer and pizza socks.
Beer socks,
See?
just for this
Perfect.
occasion.
Right
Brian
to our
is so
hearts.
happy right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so special guest Ashlee Boyce, because you went to this brewery in Salem, Massachusetts, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm also wearing a shirt I got from Salem that has all of the victims that were killed in the witch trials.
Oh.
I'm dressed for the occasion.
We're going to get to this, actually. We're going to get
Cool.
to this. Absolutely. So Notch Brewing Company is located at 283R Derby Street. There's a letter in the numbers.
R Derby.
283R, as in Ralph.
Right.
Ralph, right?
I don't know.
I've never seen an address where the numbers include a letter. Ever. So, I don't know, man. It's Massachusetts. What are you going to do?
I guess.
Salem, Massachusetts, open Monday and Tuesday 4 to 9, Wednesday 4 to 10, Thursday through Saturday noon to 10, and Sunday noon to 8.
Yes. Then there was also a location in Brighton, Massachusetts.
Oh, well, there you go. How far is Brighton from Salem?
Not sure.
Didn't go.
Didn't go there.
All right. Well, you brought us 3. You
Yes.
brought us their Czech-style pale lager, which is a session pils.
I have no idea what that is.
I can't wait for this one. Then you brought us the Dog and Pony Show, which is a New England pale. And then Left of the Dial, which is just an IPA.
Yes, I know you guys love your
English
IPAs.
style.
English
so,
style.
Yeah.
Yes. There's one of these coming up. Now, by the time this airs, I will have drank it already. There's an English style IPA coming up in the Costco beer advent calendar as well,
Huh, well, we'll have to get how you feel about that.
I guess. All right, Brian, what do you want to start with here? What do you think?
Well, you know what? Let's start with that.
With the
one.
pills?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I know you're jonesing
Yeah.
for it.
I almost opened it on the way up here.
We got to start with a session, right?
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. This brewery claims to be the very first brewery in the country exclusively focused on session beers.
Huh.
And because of that, it goes all the way back. It goes back to their roots as a German brewery. So lots of German, Czech roots in their brewing.
I didn't know that, but I was almost guessing it just based on some of the beers I looked at on their website. And I wrote, as I like to do, wrote down the ABVs.
Yeah,
And they were all pretty light.
light.
Yeah. So we'll get into that, I'm sure, too.
Absolutely. Okay, this is good. I could drink 1,000 of these.
What is this called?
This is the session pills.
Pills. Okay.
Czech
I think I
style
wrote that down.
pale lager.
Yes.
Yeah, you could easily drink 1,000 of these.
Just by smelling it, I can tell I'm going to like it because I like lighter beers.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
let's see.
On their website, underneath this logo things, 4.0, said, yes, there really is a session Pilsner. It's like, why do you need one? Well, I don't know, because we can make it.
Because you can.
And that's why. Yeah, it smells good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Could you just? And here's the thing. Well, and again, I'll get into this because I of course just fell in love with the brewery and the brewers.
As you
and
do.
Of course. their whole thing is like you could drink 2 big old monsters of this, right? And then still drive home because they're 4%.
Yeah.
These are nothing.
Okay.
They're nothing.
Yeah.
And
And the
they're-
hardest thing would just be to hold all the actual liquid.
Well, yeah, that's
You know.
Not that we're suggesting that you drink 2 whole things.
right.
Good job,
Suggesting-
Dolan. Way to turn that around.
Challenging. No, we're not doing that.
Challenging.
Challenging.
Oh,
Dolan
gosh.
here
The
from a beer
Atlas
with Atlas.
Challenge. Yeah. Don't do that.
Drink
Don't drink and drive.
Drink responsibly.
Oh gosh.
So founded in 2010 by Chris Loring, Lohring, Loring.
Okay.
Loring. Their building that they're in right now, probably the one that you went to, is the old REO Motor Car Company building. So they actually built cars there at one point, which is
Maybe
kind of fun.
REO Speedwagons.
REO Speedwagons, maybe.
That'd be sweet.
I guess like picturing the building now, I could see it being a garage, but it was much cleaner now.
No,
Hopefully.
I would hope so. Well, the front
pretty-
doesn't
it's pretty
necessarily
cool.
have to. The back needs to be, where they brew. So, Chris started his brewing career at Tremont Brewing in Charleston, Massachusetts. Have you ever heard of Tremont?
No.
No, they sold. So he started in 1993, which I think is
That's a pretty long time ago.
That's a while ago in
30
in craft
years
terms.
almost, yeah.
Tremont at the time was the second largest brewery in Massachusetts, behind Harpoon
Yeah.
in the late 90s, so right around there. After Tremont sold, he's kind of a brewer without a brewery for a while. He traveled around Germany, Czech Republic, just sampling beers. 2005, he went to Prague and discovered Desitka, Desitka, Desitka,
Okay.
which is their lager that they do now, which is their session lager. Not this one, but another one that they do. And he had an epiphany about beer. Modest ABV lagers are difficult to make, but a sheer joy to drink. So in other words, Notch is founded on the European beer tradition of drinking beer in volume and not being ashamed of that.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Right?
Maybe
I'm
we
not
had
ashamed of my volume, but the ABV is usually a little problematic.
Yeah. But I mean, it was made, and I'll get into this a little bit. It was made for the working man in Europe. Right, we've talked about that a little bit with saisons, with some of the real low ABV saisons, where they would, you come in from the field and
Yeah,
that's what you
lunchtime.
would, right,
Yeah.
that's what you would drink. So,
Yep.
in the early days, Notch was contract brewed. They brewed at Two Roads Brewing, which I think we've talked about before, Ipswich Brewery, which I know we've talked about before, and Kennebunkport Brewing Company in Maine. So he contract brewed all over the place to see if he could get it off the ground first. And then by doing that, he could produce this workers' beer sort of thing. And those are their words. Like the workers' beer is kind of their words to see if it would actually work. No pun intended there. I guess pun, right?
Haha.
Whatever. 2016, they opened that first brewery and tap room, which is there in Salem. So again, there is a great article on goodbeerhunting.com. Another podcast that shows up, by the way, on the list that we made, which is I've listened to, quite a few episodes, and great podcast. But the article is super in-depth about who they are and how they brew and their philosophy behind it. It's a really, if you get a chance, go look it up. It's from December of 2020, where I got most of my information from, quite honestly. So.
Well, here's what I pulled off the website. That was interesting to me. If you live in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania, so they must be, is it close to the border? Must be close to the border.
North, yeah.
They have a monthly subscription service, and they will mail it to you if you live in those two places. Now it's $150,
Okay.
all the way up to $600.
Whoa.
So you're
Wow.
either getting, I'm guessing, like a 4-pack a month versus maybe you're getting 4-packs, something like that.
Okay.
Holy
Looked
buckets.
like they were $13 a 4-pack for the most part. I didn't see any real price differences on the styles of beer that they had.
Wait,
Okay.
$600 a month?
No, I would assume that's for the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, and you're only getting 4?
No, I think per month, I think is how that
Wait
worked out.
a second.
The Brian subscription is $600 a month, but they're sending it by the pallet.
They'd have to at 4%. Something that was cool that this brewery did for Christmas time, they have gift bundles on their website, which I hadn't seen before. So they packaged a bunch of stuff up.
Oh.
So one of them was called They Like Beer, Right? So, you've got somebody that, my cousin likes beer. Well, this is what you get. A branded beanie hat, T-shirt, 4-pack of beer. All their stuff. There you go. They had one called the 45, which was a vinyl slip mat, for your turntable.
Sure.
Had a cool 5-panel hat, which is kind of vogue now.
Yeah.
4-pack of this one, Left of the Dial IPA. And then they had one other one, but those were the main ones I liked. They also had some mittens that had branding across the knuckles, which was interesting. I've never seen mittens for sale. Uh-oh.
That's pretty cool.
Drink it up.
Yeah, I just drank the rest of it. I'm
Drink
sorry.
I mean, that's okay. It's gonna
Look, I'm going
happen.
to give you the rest of the IPA, so I can see this one coming.
It'll be all right. 14 beers on tap I could find in the Salem. I only looked at the Salem. I didn't look at the other location. The strongest one that they brew. You want to guess?
I'm going to go 6.2.
You're right.
Really?
What?
Well, I was going IPA. I mean, I just assumed.
And it's not even an IPA.
Oh, my gosh.
It's their sticky.
Maybe you should start guessing the untaps.
I guess so. Sticky alt beer is the winner of that.
Oh.
And it's STICKE.
Sticky.
Yes. And it's very malty, caramely, 6.2%. I don't know if you'd like it. Maybe you would. It's kind of sweet.
Maybe.
But that's the highest they go. They had 6 that I could find packaged beers to go, like can-wise.
Okay.
That you could just walk out of there with, and these are 3 of those, look like.
All right.
And then they had 2, as we talked this one already, Session 4.0 beers.
Nice.
So that's the bottom, and the highest you go is the 6.2 mountaintop. So
Well,
you can go there all day.
They just really want you to drink their beer.
in volume.
Yes.
Yes.
So I dug into that just a little bit more because I wanted to understand that, right? Because knowing my beer Yoda, Brian, right, is all about, and before we even went on air, we were talking about beers that ABV is going to be like in the 13, 14s, right?
Yeah.
So huge, big, barrel-aged monsters,
Yeah.
right? Why? What drew him to this? And especially during a time when, like, Trillium was coming on, and breweries like that on the East Coast were really taking over with hazy IPAs and big that type of thing. What drew him to this instead? And this is a clip right off the website that kind of actually it's right out of the article there on Good Beer Hunting. Look at the beer-producing nations of Europe. They all celebrate low ABV workers' beers, low ABV sessions consumed by farmhands, pale lagers consumed by Czech glassblowers, or bitter and milds consumed by factory workers in British pubs. These are not beers for deep contemplation and evaluation. They are everyday, no-fuss drinking beers with great flavor and history. At Notch, we hold to that ethic that beer should be affordable, yet priced so our business can operate profitably.
Yeah.
These dudes got it figured out.
I think it's interesting for me that these are kind of like grab and goes. Like you're not going to spend an hour drinking this beer, whereas you might with a big bomb stout or something.
Right.
You should take that time and
really
maybe
enjoy.
contemplate your life. And this one's like, hey, I've got yard work to do, but I need a beer. Let's get it done.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's a different mentality than what we see around here, I would say, for the most part.
Well, yeah. Look, I gotta go to Costco, but then I also have to go to Walmart. But then there's a brewery in between, so we could go to one, stop here, have 2 beers, not get super hammered, and then still go to Walmart and finish the day.
How often? And I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, boy. Yeah, boy.
I can put myself on the spot. How often have you had a long list of things that you were going to do? And then guess what? You're still at the brewery.
And you're still at the brewery, like,
and you got none of those things done.
Well, I guess I'm going to do this tomorrow.
Probably wouldn't have to have that happen at this place.
So,
Just hearing everything you guys have said about it and smelling it, and I don't know if this will offend anyone, but it reminds me of PBR. I'm not a beer expert, but just smelling it, I was like, it smells like PBR, and I like PBR.
It has a sweetness that is definitely reminiscent for sure.
No, that was the first thing I thought of when I took a drink of this.
Good.
Was this reminds me of a PBR.
Yeah. So now I know what a Czech style pale lager is.
Yeah,
and I
it's
like
more
it.
of the Pilsner style, right? I mean,
Pils,
is it-
yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Fancy though. This sounds more fancy.
If Miller Lite tasted good, That's what this is.
Oh, they're
right?
not going to sponsor us now.
No. Well, we weren't going to get a sponsorship from Miller Lite.
Probably not 3 years in.
No.
No.
All right.
Here's one other thing I wrote down about this place. And did you go to this tap room?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We went there on Halloween night.
That's a good night to go there, it sounds like.
It was pretty chill. We wanted something a little more chill to do because Salem is insane. So this place was a little more chill. It was busy, but not crawling with people.
Well, here's what I think's insane.
In the
Tinned fish.
membrane.
Tinned fish. That's on their food menu.
Tinned?
Tinned. Like
Tinned.
Tinned. Tinned.
Okay.
Like an anchovy is in a tin. I don't know if that's what it is. But it comes with pickled onions, beer mustard, a medley of pickled vegetables, and this salty fish, and that's an appetizer.
I'd eat that.
No thanks.
I
And
mean,
they also have pickled eggs. No thank you.
oh,
I would eat the shit out of that.
We did
gotta-
not eat any of that.
I got
that's
a
good.
jar of pickled eggs on my fridge right now.
So gross.
Dude, as long as the bartender just like rolled up his sleeve, reached his
Dumped it
like
in there.
hand into the pickle, and then just like pulled the egg out and gave it to me, that's how I want it. Don't you remember that? Like when we were kids, like
Yeah.
gas stations had them on the counter,
yeah.
and you just reached your grubby hand in there and, "Hey, give me a pickled egg, 25 cents. Yarp.
It's like you don't have time to wash hands, but you got time to grab a pickled egg.
Gross.
No, I don't. No.
Is that how you get him out of home, Dolan?
No.
They didn't have these at the Casey's when he
No.
was managing there.
Yeah.
No.
How come you guys are always out of pickled eggs?
What's happening?
I didn't see anybody eating now that I think about it. No one was eating any of the appetizers and stuff. But maybe it's because it was like later in the evening. I don't know.
They're full on candy. It was Halloween. Could have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boy, what a great transition we're gonna have here.
Do it.
I mean, it was obvious. Salem, right?
Right.
So I didn't research that.
You
No,
did
thank
not.
No.
No.
So hopefully, with
at
her,
this-
with her
Ashley's
shirt with
so
the victim
disappointed.
names on it.
So
I
disappointed.
got some stuff going on.
There
So
we go.
she's going to have to give us that information because what I have a little bit later for us is ish related. So
Ish related.
well, it'll tie in at the end.
Okay, so we just opened the Dog and Pony Show, which is their hazy,
This is delicious.
right?
This
Is
is
it?
for me. Oh yeah, that's popping.
It's that's a throwback right there. Good
It
job.
was.
Yeah.
It's bright. It's
It
citrusy.
is.
Whoa.
What's ABV on
Smells
this?
super
Four,
citrusy.
4.5.
4.5.
1.9.
I didn't even look that up. 4.5.
You should, I'm gonna have you guess the untapped later,
Savant
unless
today.
you already know it.
I already know what it is. But maybe I'll go over to the casinos there in Iowa and
There you
play some
go.
roulette.
This is interesting. It's really, really sweet. I wasn't expecting that.
But you still get some hoppy kind of punch
Yeah.
at the end, right? I mean,
It's that pale ale.
yeah.
That's what I've been doing lately. When you want a little hops, I've been going
Pale
backwards.
ale.
in
It
the pale
is.
ale.
It is a citrus bomb. It really is.
Well,
Nice.
it's typical East Coast, right? As typical as they're going to get, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, when you went there, what did you have
To like eat?
or drink?
Or
Right?
drink?
When you went to the brewery
Oh,
itself.
when we went
like-
to the brewery. Okay, I wrote it down because the names of some of the beers were weird.
Awesome.
So yeah, when we were at Notch, my boyfriend, fiance, future ex-boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, Rob.
Future ex-boyfriend.
Well, if they get,
If we get married,
then
he's
it's a
technically
status
Like,
change.
wait a minute, there's a story here. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
fiance is such a fancy word, so I go with
It
future
is.
ex-boyfriend. He had the Dunkle Beer, which was a little more stouty. I had never heard of that or had it before, but I tried it. It was good. It was dark, malty, and caramely.
Those are good.
Yeah, so that was
Tasting
pretty
notes.
good.
You should be on Untapped. Those are really good tasting notes.
And then I had it was called the Standard, and it was more lemony and sweet. Not quite like this, but I guess it kind of reminded me of the summer shandies. Like, I could see myself drinking it in the summertime versus the fall.
I'm gonna guess it was a Radler. They had a couple of Radlers on.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and when I went and did my TripAdvisor research, there was somebody that just talked about like these are the best Radlers I've ever had. So
Yum.
maybe.
It was a pale lager, but yeah, not quite like this. So,
interesting.
but yeah, that's what we drank when we were there. They were out of quite a few beers when we were there, actually. But
Now,
it's
COVID-
just because it was hopping, too.
COVID hit them pretty hard, too.
Hopping.
It was hopping. I really did not mean that pun, but it happened. So it was cool,
take it
though.
back now.
Yep.
So, like, the brewery was on the main strip and everything, but it was kind of tucked away, so we wanted to kind of have a little break from people. So it wasn't really down an alleyway, but it was kind of down a side street in, like, an older building, and it was really cool. It was, like, they had their garage door open, and then another garage door open with a patio, and it was, like, right on a river. I'm not sure what river it was, but it was pretty chill.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw on their Salem's Lager, one of the other cans you can have.
I
had
wanted to
a
get
lighthouse on
that.
there.
Yeah, but I couldn't find that one available in the cans.
They said it was like, our history that most people know about is a little too dark for our can, so we want to celebrate the waterways. I was like, so okay,
there you go.
by the river, I guess.
Yeah. Did you notice on the can here the Czech style tap handles? That came in the Good Beer Hunting article as well. They use it's the side tap handles.
Yeah.
I've never seen those before. Those are traditional in overseas, like for Czech beers or German beers.
Wonder why.
Those are, I don't know.
It's more of like a sink handle.
Like a ball valve maybe than it is. I don't know if that's a ball valve.
This
on
is
the
more
regular.
of a cask English style thing.
Okay.
So I don't know why.
You can't see
that
us
would be
actually
different,
making
but
the tap movement.
Yeah, it looks like
here,
a
but-
choo-choo sound. It's kind of what it looks like you're doing.
Choo-choo. And this is more like turn on the old faucet, turn
Yeah.
off the old faucet kind of thing. So
As long as the beer comes out, I don't care.
I'm trying here. I'm trying. Stop laughing.
Faucet on, faucet off.
Yeah.
Well, that's what nowadays everything
Yeah.
is motion
Right.
censored. It doesn't work that way with beer,
No, it does
unfortunately.
not. I wish it did.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Ashlee, tell us more about, since Brian didn't do that research, tell us more about why you went to Salem.
Okay, so for, I don't know, about 4 years now or something, we've been talking about going to Salem because we absolutely love Halloween. And what better place to be over the spooky season than in Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem Witch trials took place. I don't know if you guys know a lot about the Salem Witch trials, but in the end, no one was a witch.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it was all just kind of hearsay. He said, she said. You know, maybe you and I are enemies and you have a plot of land that I want. So I'm going to accuse you of being a witch. So while you're rotting in jail, all of your stuff is going to get auctioned off for cheap. So, you know, that's one thing. Was the Puritans, they didn't have the most exciting lifestyle. Even the children, that went quickly.
Yes, it did.
It's a popular one.
Yeah.
So maybe everyone was just bored and this was kind of a new exciting thing. You
There was
know?
no TikTok back then.
Exactly. So everyone's just kind of going crazy. There's a lot of different theories of what happened. There's a small part of me that kind of maybe wants to think maybe there was something witchy going on. And then everyone just took it
What
way
if there
too
was
far.
just one person that was a witch?
Right.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That'd be sweet.
And then that person accused other non-witches
To throw 'em off the
to
trail.
throw them off.
That sounds like a movie idea.
I think it was, maybe.
It's probably been done, but
Yeah.
you can redo it.
Maybe.
Live
Right.
your dream. So yeah, I don't know. Nobody was burned at the stake.
I thought they were.
No, that happened in Europe. So witch trials did happen all over the world, but that was primarily in Europe.
Okay.
In Salem, everyone was either hanged. There were 19 people hanged. One person was stoned to death.
Well, seems like a good way to die.
Yeah,
Not that kind of when
Yeah.
it's with rocks.
They.
Rocks.
Yeah, and not like the stones weren't thrown at the guy.
Well, how do they do it then?
They just put them on you, right?
Yeah,
Stack
that
'em on
you lay down and they put a board on you and they stack stones on you until you confess. And he didn't confess. I mean, you're screwed either way. If you confess to being a witch,
You're dead.
they're either
Yeah.
gonna kill you or maybe banish you. Or just keep you in jail and you're gonna die in jail.
Right.
And then if you don't say that you're a witch, then they're just gonna hang you.
I liked the
or
old
stone you.
test where it was like they'd throw you in the water and hold you down, and if
That-
like you drowned, then you were
You're a
innocent.
witch.
Yeah, that also
You're
did not
fluid.
happen in Salem. But yeah, that was one way people could see if you were a witch or not. Is if you saved yourself and didn't drown, you were a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to die.
If you died, though, then, well,
Yeah.
You were
you're
innocent.
wrong.
Yeah. Whoops, we got that one incorrect.
Next one.
Next time.
Crazy. Yes, and that was all in the 1600s. So long time ago. Like, the trip to Salem was awesome, and there are modern witches that live there now. But it,
Safely? They live there safely?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I would assume
Absolutely.
celebrated there.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a place where such a dark thing happened, though. You know, a lot of innocent people died. And Salem Village is actually Danvers, Massachusetts. And then Salem, Massachusetts today is where everyone was hanged or died.
They couldn't do it in their own town, right? They didn't want to sully their own town, so they like went someplace else to do it.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Or maybe like Salem was just like that big and then they like split it up into more cities. I have no idea. I wasn't there at that time.
If she was a witch.
Yes.
She wouldn't be around now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You never
Plot
know.
twist.
If there's a queen of Halloween here, it is definitely Ashlee. So, I mean, it's entirely possible. Look, your
be.
secret's safe with us.
Thank you.
It's in the
Thank you,
murder
everyone.
Yeah. No.
Yes, so that's what I got. That's a brief history of what went down in Salem.
At least it's a murder journal and not a death note.
So much dark stuff going on here.
This reminds me of a concert poster.
Okay.
More than the other ones. It's kind of the same design, but just that color design looks like an old-timey, like, country and western.
With the
Show
dog
poster.
riding the
Yeah.
horse. Yeah.
Yep.
In your guys' finding, did you research like why it's called Dog and Pony Show and everything? Because
No.
I was kind of curious about that. Okay.
No.
Well,
No.
further investigation.
That's for some
should
other
happen.
podcast.
I could only assume maybe it's their like tongue-in-cheek take on New England style IPAs. Like it's a dog and pony show, right? You got to do a hazy in order to be a brewery kind of thing.
Especially on this coast. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be my guess.
Maybe that, or it's like so different than everything else, and it's like a a show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The art on there actually reminded me of
See,
Cake.
The Cake album.
Albums. All of their albums kind of have the same.
That same look, yeah.
Same
That's what it looks like to
style.
me, like an old Hank Williams poster.
Yeah.
Like those up. That's
all
what
of
it looks
them
like.
are.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I see that you've got open the IPA.
I
so
opened
we
the
better-
left of the dial.
Yeah.
So,
So we're talking AM radio.
it's the color looks more like a Pilsner lager style color, not an IPA.
I was expecting English-ish, so I was expecting malty. So
Yeah, I expected maybe a little more reddish
Yeah.
brown, maybe.
yeah, it smells hoppy.
Okay, it smells hoppy. Yeah, this is it's a fun sort of contrast in the three different beers that you brought here. That's
I'm not usually crazy about IPAs, but one of my friends that went on the trip with us had it, and he said it was good. So,
okay.
Good.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's good.
What the heck?
It's got like a almost a pineapple citrusy finish at the end.
If like Pilsners and IPAs like had illegitimate children, that's
not
what
married.
this right now. Ooh, out of wedlock, like on a Vegas vacation or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's almost buttery.
maybe.
could be.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you sometimes hops will do that.
No, that's
good.
Oh my goodness.
I was not expecting that.
No, I expected
it doesn't
a little.
taste like grass.
right pine cones.
You find out really quick, especially so when we started this podcast, I've said this before, I was a craft beer virgin. No idea. Like Blue Moon was craft to me, and I felt fancy drinking those. Yeah,
He's grumpy.
you find out that
He's all grown up.
IPAs are there's none two alike. Like
It's true.
you could be a brewery right next to each other, have the same hops, brew it the same way, and
Yep.
it's going to be slightly different
Yeah.
every time.
Yep.
That's really good.
Gosh,
It's probably still going to give me a headache, though. IPAs give me headaches, I've noticed.
I looked at this one, 4.3% on a session IPA. I don't know if it might. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not drinking a lot, though, either. It's just a little bit.
Just a little. Us
little
too.
bit.
Just a little bit.
All right, just a little bit.
What you got? Anything? Did
We
you find
ready?
some stuff?
I'm ready.
Go for
I
it.
am ready.
I was thinking, okay, yeah, the witch trial stuff. That's too good.
Sure.
It's too easy.
It's a layup. It's a
What's
softball.
something that I'm interested in? I didn't know you were there on Halloween. So
Music.
this is
Oh,
a
yeah.
great tie-in.
It's got to be a music tie.
It's not.
Baseball.
No. Salem's Lot.
Oh, the movie. Stephen King.
The book and all the iterations of film. So
Yes.
we're going to get into that just a little bit. Premise. This was his idea. He's like, what happened? What if vampires came to the United States and they just happened to take over a small town? One guy shows up. What happens?
Sure.
So this was his second published book, I think. In 75 it came
Ever?
out. Yeah.
What was this first? Cujo?
No. Carrie, I think.
Oh. Okay.
So the publisher bought it for $550,000, which is, I think, pretty good money.
That's a lot of money for back then.
He was a teacher still at that time.
Wow.
So I'm sure that was more than his salary at the high school.
Slightly.
He had read Dracula recently, and that was kind of like the what would happen if it was here in the United States.
Interesting.
Also, around this time when he was writing it, would have been mid-70s, so it was kind of like Watergate was happening. Gordon Liddy's dude's name was testifying in Congress.
Deep
And
Throat.
all that stuff was going
Yeah.
on. So it was kind of like that seeped into the book too. So there's some like, we don't trust the mayor, the politics of the town. Like that was being reflected in his writing because it was kind of what was currently happening in the United States at that time.
Okay.
Made a movie
Yeah.
I think it came out in 79.
It was decent.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cheesy now to look at it, but, that was horror movies in 79. I guess you get what you get. I wrote down two people's names from that movie because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay.
And it was actually more of like a TV, what do you call it?
Like a made-for-TV
Miniseries?
movie?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. It was
Oh.
2 episodes. It was like two-hour things.
I thought it was in theaters, but okay. All right.
So Fred Willard,
Yes.
he was in it.
Yes.
And then this guy named George DeZunda, who you would know him if you saw his face.
Okay.
He was also, I found this out last night, he was on the first season of Law & Order.
The very first season. Oh, wow.
And he was one of the main cops, and he left after the season 1 because he said the scripts were junk and he didn't think it was going to go on any farther.
That was a good call.
No, it was not.
That was
Bad.
sarcastic.
Oh, okay. It was just checking. So I think that's where like Jerry Orbach kind of comes in, and takes
yeah.
over, and he's on the show forever.
No one
Could
puts
have been
baby
this
in
guy.
a corner, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Right.
You're right.
Oh,
So-
that guy. Yeah. I know who he is now.
Yeah.
That guy.
He's in some movies and
Yeah.
stuff, but he was on Law and Order for the first season and decided that was not for him.
That was a bad career move.
Yes. Then the move, that was it. Nothing happened, and then it was like 25 years later ish. Yeah,
Okay.
25 years.
Yep.
They're like, you know what? We need to remake this. We need to make this again, and we need to put Rob Lowe in it, and that's what they did.
Really?
Yeah, it was on TNT 2 days,
Okay.
2 nights back and back. So, here's the one, and then the next night they did it again.
Okay.
Nominated for an Emmy
Oh.
for the score.
Oh.
You're like,
Oh.
here's the cast though. Rob Lowe
Yep.
plays the main guy Ben,
Yep.
who's the journalist who comes back to the town. Donald Sutherland,
Oh.
he's the main.
He plays the Fred Willard character,
I
I would assume.
He plays the human familiar of the vampire. So like when he's not a vampire and he's just a normal dude,
Okay.
Donald Sutherland is him. Straker, I think was his name, if I remember right.
So they had 2 actors for one character?
Yeah, kind of. It was like he looked like a different dude when he was a vampire in this house that he was like holed up in. But
Okay.
then when he was out in the town, like he had to be a person or he couldn't be out walking around in the daylight.
Right.
So then he kind of looked like a different guy. if that makes sense.
Nosferatu.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, more vampire-y looking.
Yes.
In quotes.
So
right?
that's sort of, yeah. So that was it. Andre Brower, I think is how you say his last name.
Okay.
He was on the Baltimore cop show, not the one that you're thinking of from HBO, but way before that, like Homicide.
Oh.
Like late 80s, early 90s. He was on that for a long time.
Yep.
James Cromwell.
Yes. Yeah.
From Babe.
From
Pig in
Babe.
the City.
Yeah.
And
Or just
other
Babe,
things.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll do, Pig.
And then Rutger Hauer.
Yes.
80s action star.
Oh, Blind Fury.
He was in
Oh,
this
my goodness.
too.
Yes.
Rob Lowe had some awesome 2000s hair. He looked the same as he does now, but the hair was much better in 2004 than it is now. And now, I just did find this out. I heard it recently, but I checked it. They are making another one.
Really?
Yes, comes out in September of 2022.
Okay.
And I wrote down this guy's name because I had never heard of him. Gary Dauberman. He's the one that is going to be directing, and he wrote it.
Okay.
He's the guy that co-wrote the It film adaptation from 2017.
Oh, yeah. Which I thought was quite good.
And he was, I guess, the head. He's like James Wan's right-hand dude. So he did all the Annabelle movies and The Nun and those sort of like off The Conjuring when they split. Mm-hmm. This guy is the one that did all of those.
Oh.
So he's making this new version.
I have high expectations.
Hopefully it's good.
I would, especially coming off of It, right? I would, yeah.
The book was really good, you know, the original. So I never saw the 2004 one, but I would watch this one. There was, what I was going to say. The main guy in this new one is Bill Pullman's kid, Lewis.
Oh.
Which I didn't even know he had a son that was an actor, but he's
I
been
didn't
in
either.
a bunch of stuff. So he's going to be Ben Stearns, or I think that was his name.
And Bill Pullman is deceased, correct? I mean, he doesn't, I believe.
You're thinking of Paxton.
Isn't Bill Paxton?
He was in Twister. Bill Pullman is still with us.
Okay. Right.
I listened to him on a podcast. the other day.
Okay.
That's how
All
I know.
right. Look, all right.
Here's another thing I didn't know. 2021 Epics. I didn't even know it was still a channel. First of all,
Okay.
EPIX.
Okay, yeah.
They made a show based off of Jerusalem's Lot, which is a short story that King wrote in 75.
Okay.
So it's kind of tied. It's the same town with some of the same characters. You know how he does,
Right.
but it's like a different story.
Oh.
So they made a show about it this year based on that.
Okay.
And the Jerusalem's Lot short story, it was in Night Shift, that book. If you were,
Oh, I did read Night Shift, yeah.
so you probably read that way back in the day.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
good movie too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Michael Keaton was in that, wasn't
I
he?
want to say that's right. I don't know if that, I want to say that's right.
But yeah, so that's what I know. And the other thing I remember about it was there's a baby vampire, like an infant baby. Like somebody bit it and turned it into a vampire.
Who would
Remember,
do
it was like
that?
flying in the air. Remember that?
I vaguely.
The only other time I remember seeing a baby in the air was in Trainspotting. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The Incredibles. Jack.
Well,
Come on.
Very different.
Brought the
Come on.
vibe down, man.
At the end of
I had to do it.
Scary
I
and
had to do it.
puking.
wasn't there a baby? Well, it wasn't a vampire, but in Pet Cemetery, didn't they turn the baby into?
well, I mean, it was the
Whatever.
little boy. He was what?
Age, yeah.
Okay, he
5
wasn't
or
a baby
6.
anymore.
Well, he got
Yeah.
hit by a semi, and then
Yeah.
they buried him and
Yeah.
dug
thought
himself
they
back
had
out.
And then Grandpa Munster got his Achilles cut.
on the stairs.
Oh, that's still
See?
just. Oh God. Yeah.
Edwin. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's what I got. Salem's
Cool.
Lot. Look for it.
Fancy.
2022.
Wow. We should have done this around Halloween, quite honestly.
I didn't know.
I didn't either. Well, we didn't have them.
Well, I mean, we can always make another special Halloween episode. There were a lot of breweries in that area. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of breweries everywhere. But, like, I kept seeing advertisements for a brewery called Night Shift, and of course that made me think of nurses.
Oh.
I didn't try any of the beer from Night Shift, but their logo was an owl, and, like, its belly was a hop. So,
Okay,
and I
that's
love
cool.
owls. Yeah, it was a really cool logo. And then there was another beer that I actually really wanted to try and get for the podcast, but they don't ship, sadly. We went to a pizza place called Flying Saucer, and it was all like Star Wars, nerdy. It was really cool inside, but yeah, there's like Star Wars stuff everywhere.
Nice.
And they had beer from Four Phantoms Brewing, and the beer I got was called Purple Potion. and it was a Boysenberry Sour Ale.
Oh,
Boysenberry.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been awesome.
I would drink that. Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. I like sours, and I drank it, and like on the back end there was lavender.
Ooh.
Yes. So I looked it up, and it was.
That might be almost. Was it too much?
Oh no, it was
just right?
good. It was different. And I
like-
looked it up, and it said raspberry, blackberry, and lavender, and it was really good. And I want everyone to try it now.
Wow.
Sometimes it sounds like rose water. You ever had that and stuff?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's
Yeah.
just like, whoa,
Just
too much.
overpowering.
Yeah.
I'd be scared about lavender, but
Yeah,
maybe
it wasn't too much. It was really good. And then on the back end, there was just a little lavender. It was really good.
So you said the logo was an owl.
That was for Night Shift.
Okay.
For
Night Shift.
Phantoms Brewing is. They have a lot of really cool graphics on their website. They're a little more of the occulty stuff. I mean, Salem stuff. It might be what you expect, but they have like a lot of stouts and everything. And I actually emailed them. I was like, where I work, they have a podcast, and like, would you guys consider shipping, or do you have anything close to us? And they're just all on the coast right now, on the East Coast. But the lady that emailed me back was super cool, and she was like, if you guys are ever in the area, you can use our tap room and record, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll put you on like a mailing list. And so
I feel like
if they
that's a
ship, I
good
would
idea.
love it.
I mean, we've gone to the area before.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
So we can go back.
I think we should make a tour.
I think we should.
Like, bands go on tour. We
Right.
need to plot this out. These places that we've,
Yeah.
talked with and
Right.
become friendly with, and just, record our
Podcast
way
tour.
across.
I think we should
the
do
country.
that.
double up a tour. Maybe have some travelers.
Some meet and greets,
on
tie
the
it up
show.
together.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
business
not?
expense.
We've already done that in Denver once with Courtney Fagusha.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah.
unlike our ex-friends at a brewery there in Colorado,
Yeah.
which will remain unnamed.
Shots
Yes.
fired.
Right. They actually invited us in.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe we would double check before we go back. Like, hey, we're gonna actually come do this. Are you cool?
Yeah. Well, the place down the street was more than happy to have us.
Yeah.
So
Most places are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that other place's problem was.
Man,
Maybe they were having a bad day.
they had a stick in a
their beer.
place where the sun don't shine.
So speaking of owls, you mentioned owls, and I thought about this. There is a current trend on Reels and TikTok, or as Brian likes to call it, the Tic Tac.
Tic Tac. Yeah.
It's like this personality test thing, and it's like the first question is owls or flamingos, and I'm curious, owls or flamingos?
Owls all day. All day.
I'll take owls.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a
Flamingos.
painting of a flamingo though, and if you like really sit there and look at a flamingo, they're so weird looking.
They are
Their
weird.
feet, their
Yeah.
legs are just so bizarre.
Owls are just so smart.
Yeah.
Flamingos have 2 legs and they only use 1.
Maybe they're smarter.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, flamingos are really cool animals, but
Yeah.
I'm also a Harry Potter nerd, so I like owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so TripAdvisor, 4.5 out of 5 on 69 reviews. There was one bad review that I almost cut out. Almost. I didn't go with it.
Okay.
This person should not have been at a brewery.
Oh boy.
And they most certainly should not have been drinking beers that either were low ABV or I don't even know. Their take was just horrible.
Were they a Puritan?
I don't know. Maybe they've never had beer
I think
before.
a Puritan would have loved this, though. This was so
Maybe.
much more exciting
I
than
don't know.
manual labor.
Here's the one I cut out though. It's from Slammy1. That's her name, Slammy1.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not
The
gonna
Slammy
This is
was
all
taken. Slammy won.
Yeah.
Set up for failure.
I'm not gonna judge her by her name. So she said, my husband makes his own beer. Spoiler alert: in 5 years, we're going to be drinking his beer from the brewery that he started. If he's making, right?
That's how it works around here.
That's exactly how it works. So naturally, we need to visit every, in all caps, brewery on the planet. Yeah. Well, you already sound
that's
like
fair.
Sounds like my wife at this point.
I
We gotta
don't
go
make
to
beer.
every brewery.
I don't make my own beer, but I would go to every brewery. Yeah.
I don't drink beer, but it sucked back their. But I sucked back their 2 Radlers, and they were delish. He also enjoyed their IPAs. The environment is totally fabulous. I'd visit here again for sure. 5 out of 5. So there you go.
So even a non-beer drinker.
Non-beer drinker.
5 out of 5. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
There you go.
Based on these, I'd 5 out of 5 them.
Yep. Well, you'd 5 out of 5 tap water. Let's be honest.
Well, I've had some hops in it. Maybe.
Which was your favorite? Well, okay, obviously IPA probably.
This is my favorite.
Okay,
That was?
the Dog and Pony
Yep.
Show.
The
For
left
sure.
of the dial was my favorite.
I'm gonna have to go with the Pils.
Wow.
The Pils, then Dog and Pony, and then Left to Dial.
There you go.
Weird. Which
This
one
is the one that they gave out in their Christmas bundles a lot. This is the one I saw packaged with everything.
If you had as a not necessarily drinking IPAs often, right? I mean, which one would you drink again?
Maybe it's because I'm still sipping on it, but I really do like the IPA.
The left of the dial.
I loved them all. They were all very good, and you know, depending on what I'm in the mood for, I would drink all of them. But I'm surprised at how much I like the IPA. It's not overly hoppy, grassy, pine coney. It's good.
I couldn't have been happier. And since they are the taller cans, right? Mm-hmm. Normally, after we record one of these episodes, after drinking 3 of them, we got to take a break. I feel great.
Good.
I feel hydrated. And right?
Yep.
So,
I feel pretty good
all right,
myself.
Untapped. Let's start with the Pilsner on that. Czech style, pale lager, session pills. 12,900 check-ins.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna say 372.
Right?
3.44.
Actually, you want to guess on this? It's out of 5. Like, where do you think the 12,900 people have kind of averaged their reviews so far?
Oh man. I'll go with 3.5. I don't know. No idea.
It's actually pretty close. 3.48.
Oh,
So Brian was
Okay.
close too.
Yep.
It's good. There's just like nothing super duper amazing special, I guess, but it's super good.
Yeah. It's
that's
just
a 4.25 in my book.
it is too. I
I
almost go
love
4
that
and a
one.
half
Is it 'cause
on
it's
that one.
green?
4.5.
It's
Yeah,
because
It's
it's green.
green.
because
Yeah,
it's green. It's a wrong shade of
It's
green.
because we like PBR, so you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
I might drink this instead of a PBR
Yeah.
if it was here.
Definitely.
And PBR is 5s all day.
Yep, exactly.
Only if you're at a concert with Dolan is the PBR 5.
R.I.P. Lookout.
Dog
Yeah.
and Pony Show, 4,000 check-ins. So the
A lot less.
Yeah, a lot less. This is the New England style IPA, or their take on it at least. What do you think, Dolan?
361.
Brian?
381.
Oh.
Ashley?
2.8.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Oh, that's too low. We can't say 2s. We'll be banned.
That's
Okay,
true.
3.1.
375.
3.
Oh, wow. Okay,
375.
cool.
Yeah. So
Also very good. I would just drink it
What
more
did
in
I
the
say?
summer.
361. Okay.
361, yeah. 361, 381. Finally left of the dial, 20,200 check-ins. So that's
Still less than that one, but
yeah,
a lot more than the other.
a lot more, yeah.
357.
Okay.
376.
Wow, you guys, your numbers are crazy.
Wow.
4.
Yes.
I'm all over the place.
369. 369.
What did I say?
369.
Yeah.
3-5 something.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what I said.
Yeah.
Numbers
With-
are hard.
With 3 people, numbers make it's hard.
369.
369 total.
And 3 beers. Yeah, that's a lot of numbers.
a lot of
Ashley
numbers.
went exactly where I went.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Ashley, thank you for bringing these to us. This was
Yes,
awesome.
My pleasure.
I don't think there's ever been a brewery. Well, this might not be true. But
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead and say it
right
anyway,
now,
yeah.
that I would travel for. I would go to this place. I would travel if I knew, because I was just in Boston last month.
Yeah.
If I had known, I would have mapped this out and probably gone to this place. It's that good, and they were good. We went to Trillium. We went to Night Shift when we were there.
Okay.
So and the Night Shift beers were very, very East Coast hoppy, over the top style. I mean and they were good.
So not European like these.
Not like this though, and this is different enough. I would definitely travel to go to this place.
Yeah. It's kind of it's neat. I like them. I liked
Yeah.
everything that they had, and
Yep.
I like their website was cool, and the designs on the cans are nice too. So
Without a doubt. So, all right, more fun beers coming up over the next couple of weeks. I told Brian we'd get back into stouts. I don't know if I'm lying, but
no, we're gonna get there.
okay. All right. Well,
Stout season.
it's stout. It's been stout season.
Next
We've just
to spooky season. It's my favorite season.
Yes. Thanks.
thanks for coming, and thanks for bringing these beers.
Absolutely. Hopefully, I would love to go back to that part of the U.S. and get some more.
I hope you do that soon as well.
Absolutely.
All right, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another murder journal.
Here we go. It's right here.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.